Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We are going to be talking about women, worth, wealth, and wellness. And if you care about money, this is the place for you to be and to get this information from Roxana, our guest today. Excited to be talking about this, and we know that our money, our financial situations really affects us. It affects our health. It affects our stress level. It affects our worry. And so it becomes important for us to really learn more about how do we take care of ourselves. And I'm wearing my heart today to remember that we need to be good to ourselves, to give heart to ourselves, and to remember to make sure that when we're giving it out to everyone else, that it's here sitting on us for us to give to ourselves as well. And just waiting for people to come on so that we can have this conversation today. And Carly's come on. Hi, Carly. And Women, Wealth, and Worth has joined. So we're waiting to see if we can come on live. This is really going seamlessly this time. Usually there's glitches, there's waiting, there's buffering, and we are just making this happen today. Okay. And when you're going live, like in real time, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide, there's no way to make anything go differently or better. And we're just going to be waiting for a couple of more people to come on. I see that Roxana has come on, and I'll be introducing her shortly. Terry, thanks so much for coming on. Great to see you here. If anyone wants to post where they're coming in from, that's welcome and terrific. Happy to have you let us know that. And we're waving to you. And yeah, we're just going to have a very lively, important, and useful conversation today, because that's something that's so important. Monica, thanks so much for joining. Great to see you. And again, anybody want to put any comments in the comment box? Always love to hear from you. We're in conversation. It's like Roxana and I are here, and we're kind of sitting in a living room. Oh, Carly saying hi from LA. Okay, it's great to have you. So far, the farthest person we've had on one of the lives that I've had has come in, called in and joined from Africa. So people from everywhere are welcome. There's the beauty of Zoom. Hi from New Jersey. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're in New York. You're right next door, as close as could be. But the idea here is as if we're here and we're sitting in a room with you, and we're having this conversation, and we get to be together and really go over this information. And so you get to come and join us here. And we're going to be starting in just about a minute. We're just giving people a chance to get their sandwiches, grab a salad, come on in. We get it's lunchtime. I know that I woke up a little bit, hungry this morning. I said, I'm not going to last. I'm just not going to last. So I made sure that I had something, and I have my signature blue and white cup here. To get going. And so we're gonna start. And so first of all, everyone, welcome to Disruptive Conversations with thought leaders, entrepreneurs, influencers, educators, authors. When we deep dive into the experiences these women have had and have needed to conquer and navigate in order to achieve their personal and professional success. I'm Dr. RYGER, clinical psychologist, and I am an expert in change. I help people make positive change in your life at any point. Now, you can't have change without disruption. And you need to disrupt a thought, a feeling, a behavior, a belief in order to create the 10.0 version of your life. And that's what this series of conversations is all about. I just want to welcome Lisa. Lisa, thanks so much for joining. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Roxana McKinney. And like I say, the women who I have on this Instagram Live, they are so accomplished. I have to read what they've done because I can't remember everything. So Roxana is your trusted personal finance expert on a mission to ensure all women, no matter their income, net worth, life stage, or level of financial education, deserve to feel confident regarding their money. She's the founder of Women, Wealth, and Worth, a financial education firm. Her one-on-one and group education programs empower women to demand their worth and transform their financial lives. Welcome, Roxana. I am so thrilled to have you here. And just fast background of how we met. We were at a women's event and hosted by Libby Owens and Omri Kibler from Hey Mama put us together. We met. Our energies and our thoughts just went so fast. We made it happen. Networking, relationship, we made it happen in a nanosecond. We set up a call and here we are now. So welcome, Roxana.
Thank you. Well, it's such an honor to be with you here today, and for everybody joining us from all over the country, welcome. Today we're talking about relationship with money and some money confidence. So I'm super excited to get started. Thank you.
So I read your bio, but what is it about you and your experience that you'd like to let us know that I haven't read in the bio?
Oh, well, I think that, I experienced wanting to become financially independent at a very young age. I was raised by a single mother of four. She was also an immigrant to this country, didn't speak English. And so it was really her struggle, seeing that after divorce, she really had to reinvent herself in so many ways, but especially financially. And it was her experience that really motivated me to want to achieve financial independence, and then also going a step further and wanting to share that with other women. And so I think that's really my why. And I really would just say that feeling confident around money, personal finances, really means having that opportunity to live life with peace of mind, and just makes my work and yours really so important. So excited to be here.
What you're saying is so important, because a lot of people who are experiencing divorce, they're experiencing shift in their relationship, oftentimes do not have that kind of financial literacy and understanding, and being able to get to competence and confidence. And certainly if you can do that before anything shifts, you're just in a better position. And that this whole idea of women, wealth, worth, and financial competence is so important. And bringing this information to women. So could you tell us a little bit more about what you needed to disrupt? We're in Disruptive Conversations. And so, you don't wake up in the morning and you're this person, right? That's sitting here today with us, that we're so pleased to have. But what is it that you needed to disrupt in yourself in order to be where you are now?
Yeah, I think for me, it was really understanding my worth. I started my career on Wall Street as a trader, and I was one of 6 women on a 386-person trading floor at a very large international investment bank. And I think having that realization that I needed to speak up for myself, I needed to, make sure that women had a voice at the table. It was negotiating my bonus when I thought that I had performed well beyond the expectations. But I think that was really a huge disrupting moment in myself, and really stepping into my power and confidence, and then wanting to share that with other women that were coming up after me. And so that was really, I think, a monumentous point in my career that really then, I was able to share that with other women. And it was very important.
What you're talking about is so common, where oftentimes women undervalue their worth.
Oh.
They undervalue how much they know. They undervalue what they're worth, what they bring to the table. And what oftentimes gets overlooked is that there are the people, when there's an emergency and things are on fire, figuratively, they're rushing in with the fire hose. That's a very different space than the people who help things stay on track, who prevent fires, who keep things rolling and building. And oftentimes from that position, they don't get enough acknowledgement.
No, absolutely. I think women have, we have a couple superpowers. And I think the first one is that we are able to multitask quite well, including when, things hit the fan and we have to kind of iterate or work in quick on our feet. And I think also women are really good listeners and connectors. And I think that those two things have played a lot in the success of my own career and then my business as well. So yes.
So Kate, thanks for joining us. Alaska, great to have you here. And, and again, here's a really important conversation that we're having. If you haven't yet followed me, you don't want to miss this. You want to let your friends know. So follow me, make sure that you do, in order to not miss a single moment of life-changing moments that could really work for you. And so, coming back, women need to remember that if you're keeping things, if you're keeping the train on the track, the bus on the wheel, the car on the road, whatever you want to, whatever metaphor you want to use, but that is important. And the first place where that value needs to come is from you to you.
Agreed. And that's why, I don't know, I think women really have it together in a lot of aspects of life, but the one area of life that I see consistently where there isn't that confidence of having it all together typically is in career and knowing their worth and with their money. And so money confidence is one of those things that, I'm always kind of shouting from the rooftops, that because it does play a huge role in even us feeling wealthy, because having wealth isn't just about money, but it really extends into other areas of life. And so, yeah, it's so incredibly important.
Well, there's a life event scale that looks at, what stress levels are. And one of the top stressors in life is financial stressors. And sometimes financial stresses, look, we go through hard times, and there are times that we have to really rethink our finances, rethink about how we're living, rethink about what we need to pull back on. But if there's more to it than that, it's about also being able to see what you do have and really enjoy that and be able to really connect in that way. So what is it that what's one thing that you would tell us? Because I know that my audience is really looking for this, of what's one thing that you can do to build confidence?
Yeah, I think one of the major things you can do is educate yourself. And that's why I went from kind of the wealth management side of the business into becoming a financial education firm. And I think that what I found when I was in wealth management was that many financial advisors are looking to sell you products, and it's like all about the selling you something. And the beauty of the work that I do is I really come from the side of education, and then really doing that deep dive into a relationship with money, because I think we can't start taking action on whatever financial goal we're looking to achieve, whether that's saving more money, paying down debt, starting to invest, or actually making the decision to retire, unless we actually understand our relationship with money and have a plan for how that's going to align with the decisions we make around our money.
You're saying that, when you talk about being, selling you something, look, selling is very important, but there's a very different feel sense, I think, especially for women. And I know when I have been spoken to about finances and I'm getting language and it just doesn't really sit well, that there's a very different sense about being sold something or about being educated about something, so that therefore it makes sense to you, you understand it, and you internally decide that this is something that you want and that you need. And that's a very, those are very different spaces. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, no, I feel that education is power. And I believe when women have invested and taken the time to educate themselves around the topic of money, then there is this sense of confidence that comes into play. And that's a very different, really what I feel is allows you to step into your power, versus you going to somebody and saying, okay, I know that I need to prepare for my financial future or for retirement or for whatever. Let me just give you my stuff and have you do it for me. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people that just know that they are not going to take the time, or have, so many competing things in their lives that they'd rather somebody else do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just come from a little bit of a different school of thought, in that you having the education, and then someone to actually guide you. Because I do think for somebody who's making this investment, that there is kind of a benefit to having somebody guide you and support you in your journey, at least for the start. But when I work with people, my intention is that I'm not working with them forever, that I've given them the tools they need so that they don't need me, that they will have the confidence and the plan and the strategies to be able to implement in their life beyond our relationship. And I think that's really what gives many people that I work with the this sense of, okay, I'm going to be given what I need to succeed, and this person's just going to be there to guide me for the short term until I'm ready to go and fly on my own.
That's such a beautiful way of putting it, because oftentimes, finances they're complicated, and we live complicated lives. We have complicated needs. We may think that we need this or that, and then you have a health issue that comes up. There's somebody in the family who has a difficult financial situation. Maybe you have a child who has medical needs, and so whatever you think may be shifting. And having this financial base that you're in it to educate people and to help them get their own confidence. So you're sharing your expertise. And to start with someone who has your interest in mind is important, because we need to feel that we're in a place of safety, both in terms of what we're being told, getting a whole picture, and that in addition to that, that we can ask the kinds of questions that you kind of said to yourself, I can't believe I need to ask this question. But you really do need to ask the question, and to feel comfortable, feel that you can trust someone.
Absolutely.
To ask questions that you need to ask.
Right. And I think that's a really important point, is that whether I'm speaking in front of a group of 200 people or working with somebody one-on-one, it is always so important that we establish first and foremost that it is a safe space, that no question is a dumb question, and that everybody's here to learn and to better themselves in a way that's going to be meaningful and allow them to accomplish what they're looking to accomplish. But I think that's incredibly important, and something that is always top of mind in developing the relationship with everybody, every life that I touch, whether that's in a larger group or in a one-on-one setting.
And to add to that, you're giving people that foundation. And I find that people that I work with, oftentimes there are all sorts of beliefs. There have been things that they've been told about money. There are things that they're not even aware of that can interfere with their being able to really make decisions and to utilize their finances in ways that are helpful to them, that can help give them pleasure, that really have the money work. You've worked for the money.
Right.
So what can you do to have the money work for you? Not just in terms of growing, but in terms of also, giving to yourself and knowing how to do that in a way that feels responsible and you can really feel good about.
That's a great point. I think that when I think of the way that we're going to maneuver with money, the first thing that I tell people, I want you to spend with joy. And this is a really interesting kind of people are like, well, what do you mean by that?
Right.
And I'm like, well, joy is what gives us, makes life worth living. So I want you to understand joy is like a core purpose of money. Because why do we work so hard? Well, we work hard because there's something that we're looking to achieve in life beyond working whatever job or business you're running or whatever. And then I want them to understand this concept of creating financial stability. And then lastly, one of the key things that I focus on is building that financial independence that I referenced that was so important to me as a child because of my life experience and seeing my own mother kind of suffer through being able to achieve that independence. Financial independence to me is the fact that money is kind of flowing into our life consistently that then allows us to spend for joy and create the financial stability. So those are kind of some 3 key core concepts that I introduced that people have never heard it framed in that way, but is incredibly important.
Well, your mom was a single mom. My mom stayed married. She was a stay-at-home mom. And my dad came home with it wasn't a paycheck. He came home with his cash and give it to my mom. And my mother, I'll never forget this. She would take out her old weathered wallet and she took out this goes for food and this goes for this and this goes for me, and then she would take a piece of a paper bag and wrap some of the cash in that and put it back in her wallet. But my mother always managed to take out whether it was $5 or $10 or whatever it was, and she would put the part that she didn't have lined up for something. And so if you ever needed that little special something, she always had her little special stash.
That's awesome.
And that was part, and her wallet was, whatever her Excel sheet, right? So as we're wrapping up for today, because there are many ways of doing it, but we learned so much. And what we're saying is, think about for a moment of where you've learned your money models,
right?
And the messaging that you come away with that. So let me ask you this question. It's almost my last question, which is, so what's your next disruption, Roxana?
Ooh, that one is very interesting. One of the things I've been looking at is how can we bring this concept of money is energy into kind of more of the mainstream. So almost looking at money from a spiritual side, or if you could think of it as, shifting the mindset from lack to abundance, and really understanding this concept around money, that what we actually think about money is what actually becomes our reality. So that's something I've been playing with, and it's really exciting. I've been working with it, not ready to bring anything to light just yet, but it's definitely in the works, and I think will disrupt the way that that people can think about money, and really, in a sense, bring in this feeling of abundance around money, even if they don't have a cent in their bank account. So that's kind of interesting.
That's so beautiful. And so for people listening, that it's so important to let yourself, if you're happy where you are and you're on your path, you can stay on your path, but you can be more educated about it and really build more confidence and have more of a knowledge base about it. And also, if you're looking to have disruptive moments, that you can allow yourself to think about, like, what could my next step be? What else might I be thinking about? And see about starting to make that happen. So you've given us such tremendous information. It's really wonderful. So how can people find you and connect with you?
Oh, well, wonderful. Thank you for asking. People can find me on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is at Women, Wealth, and Worth. Our DMs are always open, so feel free to message me there. And then we also have an email address, which is just info@womenwealthandworth.com. And obviously our website, which is just womenwealthandworth.com. But thank you.
Fantastic. And I just want everyone to know that Roxana and I am going to be finding out more about what she's going to be doing with this, because I can't wait to hear about it and for us to share our expertise together on it. Roxana, I can't thank you enough for coming on. And, so remember, this was such a great conversation. People are coming away with something. So for everybody who's listening in today, and this is a point that's super important for me, think about everything that you've heard. Think about something that you've thought of that all of a sudden made sense to you, a takeaway, something that you can do, something that you want to remember. If you need to, and I know that I always do, you think you're going to remember, you're not going to remember, write it down. Write it down so you have it to refer back to, and see what is one thing that you can take away from today that can be of help and of use to you. And with being that I'm saying that, make sure that you tune in, follow, and join me, Dr. RISA RYGER, for Disruptive Conversations. You don't want to miss them. I have amazing, fantastic women on from all different backgrounds. And next week, my guest is going to be Gail Perry, who you may know better as Gail Style, and Changing Lives Through Style. Here we are. Remember, positive change can happen at any point. Start living your positive change today, and see you soon.
Great. Let's smile for the cover.
This is our cover.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. This has been a blast.
Okay, till next time. All right. See you all. Okay.